Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Grant Powell, founder of Curios, to discuss what Web3 actually is, if it's different or the same than blockchain and NFTs, and how creators can leverage Web3 to drive engagement and revenue. Grant, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
You got it. And Grant, as you know, technology has its own lexicon, and a lot of times terms will get interused. So explain to the audience what Web3 is and how it's different from blockchain and NFTs.
Yeah, sure thing. So Web3 is really about like a set of principles. The core tenets of Web3 include things like decentralization, trustlessness, and these principles are very powerful. They empower people to transact directly with each other, to have a new sense of ownership for things that are intangible. The most common use case being, an NFT piece of art. It's a JPEG. You can't physically own it, but you can own it through, the proof of an NFT token. And most people seem to think that Web3 is just NFTs, but it's not, right? It may actually be in the future that Web3 doesn't use NFT technology, to be determined, but the principles need to remain the same.
So blockchain is essentially what Web3 is built on, and NFTs is just a feature of being able to leverage blockchain.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. So blockchain is one of the technologies that's used to realize these core tenets of Web3.
How can creators leverage Web3 to drive engagement and revenue for themselves?
Yeah, so the creator economy is really interesting to me. I used to be a musician myself. And I love seeing that with these new tools and technologies, such as the ones that Curios is creating, creators can do things that engage their fans in new ways. I've seen exciting projects where the fans actually participate in funding and owning a piece of an album, or having a vote in terms of, what creative direction the album's going to take. Artists can now take their artwork, make it available digitally, and know that the people buying it have proof of its authenticity versus it being, a knockoff copy. And so again, getting back to those core principles, it's exciting to see creators be able to engage with their fans, generate new revenue for themselves, and grow their community.
Yeah, well, as a musician, I have a couple questions for you. How does AI affect creators? Do you think it will replace creators? And will it be more challenging to recognize what's original content, what's authentic?
Yeah, I love this topic. So the first thing to realize is that AI can and will be able to create anything from music to videos to, faking an interview with someone. Those things are all happening and will continue to happen. So the question then comes in of, well, how do you value something that's created by an artificial intelligence versus a human intelligence? And I'd like to take a look at, for example, diamonds. There are natural diamonds that are made by the earth, and then human-made diamonds, and they are valued differently. They're both created, but someone who's a collector might want to invest in a rare earth diamond, whereas someone who just wants a nice piece of jewelry might invest in a lab-created diamond because it can actually be more perfect and cheaper. So, perhaps in the future, AI art, which could be generated in infinite supply, it's going to be cheaper, but still fun to own, versus, the classics like a Monet are just going to continue to go up in rarity and value.
Yeah, that's an interesting perspective, because we're hearing that across all industries, where it's more of a complement to allow creators to get more creative and work on more complex problems versus just entirely replacing them. But again, as a musician, and you know this very well, are you concerned about what it will look like in terms of commercialization? Who will own the content? Is it AI? Is it the creator themselves? Is it the blockchain that it's being created on? Are we there yet to think about it in those terms?
I think it's important to be thinking about those terms. We're like this close, but not quite there yet. I think it's really about being able to determine what is authentic versus not, or what is human made versus artificial intelligence made. I think that as long as you can prove that, then music as it once existed, made by humans, will continue to exist. And there'll be a new category that's, computer generated music. And so I think that the blockchain is actually uniquely positioned to solve this problem of authenticity. How do you know that something that is, a song that's created was created by a human versus an AI? And I think that's what is going to be the future.
All right, Grant, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq.
Thanks so much.